And we're live.
Perfect. Awesome. Hi, everyone. Thank you so much for joining. We're going to dive into hair quickly, but I wanted to do a quick intro. My name is Becca Ashley, as you see there. My handle is Becca NC on Instagram. I'm the Director of Artist Education for Blow Dry Bar, and I'm super excited to be here to bring you a look that was just kind of very popular at New York Fashion Week. So we're going to go ahead and get right into this. I've got my beautiful model, Lauren, here. She's here to help me out. So today, or last season, the past season that just happened at New York Fashion Week was all about the braid. Every show that we did was braids. There's something to do with braids. So we're going to do a look straight from a fashion show that we did behind the scenes. I've already prepped my model here. We're going to start off with a really nice snatched ponytail, so you can see everything's pulled back on the front face, and then towards the side everything's really snatched back right into the center of the head back here. I've got a section up here that I have sectioned out because we're going to do kind of a middle part for her ponytail. So what I did to create this is I sectioned it off into 3 sections. I have got my top section where I'm going to create that middle part, and then I've got my middle section where I kind of use to position the ponytail. This is a really important section. And then I've already connected this, but my bottom nape section is that section just to make sure that we don't get any kind of loose hair hanging down right at the neck. So we already connected that. So now we're going to go in and connect this top section here. And what I did was I already parted her into a middle part here, and I just kind of twisted the sections just to make sure that I didn't lose kind of that middle part down the center. If you want to tilt your head down, perfect. So what we're going to do here is we're actually going to take these 2 sections back into the ponytail as well, but we're going to kind of mimic that texture that we have here. So I'm going to start with a little bit of Color Wow Pop and Lock Serum. And this stuff is really, really, really amazing, just to kind of protect the hair, but to also give kind of like that glossy sheen on the hair as well. So we're going to pull this back, and as I'm styling and as I'm pulling this back, I want to talk to you guys a little bit about Blow, which is kind of where I work right now. Blow, I've been working for Blow for almost 10 years now, and it is such a great place to really get your hands into hair very, very quickly. So the concept of Blow is we don't do any cuts or color. However, there are tons of different services that actually we provide. So when I was first starting out in the hair industry, I knew I didn't want to go into full service right away. I knew it was something I wanted, but I felt that I wanted to just kind of get a little bit more experience. So I found out about Blow, and I quickly learned that I could actually create a career by working there. So I'm going to keep telling you a little bit about my story while I also tell you a little bit about how we're doing this style. So the other product that you just showed or saw me kind of spray into the hair is Unite's Expansive Volume. This stuff is amazing. It's kind of going to be my replacement for hairspray today, just because it's so great for that slick back look. It adds a lot of kind of grip to the hair, but also sets everything into place. And you're actually technically supposed to use it for volume at the root, but you know, we're hairstylists, we can break some of those rules. So right now we're just kind of spraying some of that product, and I'm brushing back her hair into that center parting here. And I want to make sure that that center part is pretty prominent. So I'm just taking a small smoothing brush, it has pretty thick bristles here, and just creating that kind of look that I want to, going back into that ponytail, making sure that it mimics kind of how we pulled these sides back as well. So everything looks kind of cohesive and blended as we kind of move back into that ponytail, but we still want to focus on that middle part too. So I'm going to take a peek in this mirror here as we do that. And so yeah, we're just going to keep brushing this back until I feel like I have kind of what I want. Perfect. So back to working at Blow. So once I found out about Blow Dry Bar, I was super excited, and I started working at a little location in little Tampa, Florida. That's where I'm from, born and raised. And it was such an exciting time because I was so new to the industry that I was willing to learn pretty much anything. So when I started there, I learned that yes, we don't do any cut or color, but we do makeup services. We did a few waxing services at the time. We don't offer those anymore. However, what we just added is some extension services. So that's where a lot of the career can really grow. However, I took my career to a different path, and when I started at Below, I really became fascinated with sales. And I don't know why that I just gravitated to that. I really loved the product line that we use, which was and still is our partner, Unite. And I really fell in love with sales, and I became the top sales in the entire company. And from there on out, my career just kind of took off from there. So, I had Unite reach out to me asking me kind of what that formula was that I use to kind of create some of those sales goals. And I became an educator for them for a while. And then, long story short, I then became an actual educator for Below. So I got to go around the US and actually help open some of our locations that, keep opening throughout the US. So that was such a fun time for me, and I'm, super fortunate for that time. Okay, back to the hair quickly. We're adding a little bit more of this expanded volume here, but I just attached that hair to the back of the ponytail we have with a bungee. So as you can see, her ponytail's it's pretty poppin', right? It's up, it's got some volume here. So it's really, really high, and it's really nicely secured. And that's because of those bungees. A bungee can really make a difference when you're using them for a ponytail, and can give you a lot of volume. So because this is already set, I just want to make sure, again, that middle part is pretty prominent as I'm doing this style here. And now, before I add any hair to this, which we are going to, I'm going to make sure that this elastic and these bungees are actually hidden. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to go ahead and take a small piece of hair here, and I'm going to hit it with a little bit of hairspray. This is a Color Wow hairspray, cult favorite. This is another one of Blow Dry Bar's partners. So we do sell and use those products in bar as well, which Color Wow's also a great, great brand, and really does help solve problems for anyone in the bar or blow dry bar if they have any. So we're just gonna hide this elastic here, and I'm just wrapping this around with the hairspray. I'm gonna turn her so you guys can see this just a bit more, so you can see how we're hiding it here. So I'm just throwing some hairspray on this to just make sure it's nice and smooth. And then we're going to take a bobby pin and we're going to secure it. Another fun way you can do this, which I don't have my blow dryer out, but you could use hairspray and actually blow dry this piece of hair dry, and it will really help to kind of lock that piece of hair into place. So I'm going to take a bobby pin, and you want to just make sure it's pretty much the color of their hair, just so it doesn't kind of pop out or show or anything like that. And you just kind of want to place it where that end piece of the hair is. You might need more than one, and that's totally okay, but we just want to make sure we lock that piece of hair into place. I feel like when you do a ponytail, it's never fully done until like that elastic is hidden. I don't know, that's just me. But especially for Fashion Week, to have the kind of that polished look, you want to make sure that that kind of ponytail is definitely hidden. Okay, so now for the fun part. Now I'm going to be adding in some of the hair for braids. So I'm going to turn her all the way around. We can see she's got fine hair, right? So the braid we create with just her natural hair, it'd be great, but it's not going to be long enough. And what we're going to try to create here is a nice loop with that braid, and we're going to put a fun bow on it at the end. So keep watching here. And for those of you who just hopped on, we just created a nice snatched ponytail, and right now we're just about to go ahead and add in some hair for the braid. So what I'm going to do is go in and use a little bit of Pop and Lock. And again, this is a beautiful serum for the hair as well. And this will just help kind of the health of the hair and really hold everything together too. So when I'm doing a braid or I'm doing an upstyle or whatever it is that I'm doing, this can kind of help to kind of lock in the hair together so I don't have any kind of flyaways or shorter hair, pieces of hair kind of going every which way. So I'm going to start right at the base of the head and we're just going to start braiding. So always the braid is going to be the thickest right at the top. So I'm not going to add hair quite yet. And I'm actually going underneath when I do this braid. And I want to make sure that I keep an eye on this braid, that by the time I get to a certain part, I understand that it's getting a little bit thinner, right? So I want to keep watching as I'm doing this braid when it gets a little bit thinner. So I'm starting to see thinness happen right into this braid here. So I think here is kind of a good spot to add some hair. So I just have a little bit of braiding hair. I just got this from the hair shop and we're just going to take small pieces here and I'm going to try to get this on camera the best way possible. I'm going to move some of my stuff out of the way, how I actually attach this into her hair. So I take the hair, kind of cut it or fold it in halfway, keep it halfway, and then I'm going to place it right on to my right side. And I'm going to hold my thumb with that middle section and that right section. And all I'm going to do is take that right hand or right section as if I were continuing to braid. That right section is the next section that needs to go underneath. So I'm going to go ahead and put that underneath. But it's really important that I keep this hand on the hair because I don't want to lose the hair. So I'm putting that underneath and then I'm taking that other side and popping that underneath. And that is what helps to kind of lock that hair into place. So once that's underneath, now I can kind of continue that braid. And then every time I get to my right side, I'm actually going to add more hair. So I'm on the right side again. I'm going to throw some more hair in here as we keep going. So same thing, I'm going to hold that nice and steady with my thumb. I'm going to place the hair behind as if I'm continuing that braid, so it's behind and in front at the same time. And then again, we're going to keep continuing to braid. And this just helps to add hair where we really, really need it to create really that nice fullness. And you can continue to kind of add product as you go through your braid as you're creating it, just to keep everything nice and solidified and kind of cohesive. Okay, so I'm going to keep continuing this down to the length that I want it to. So I hope you guys can see this okay. We're going to just keep going with adding the hair to just kind of mimic the same fullness that she has kind of up here. So going back to talking a little bit about Blow. So when I got hired at Blow Tampa, I had the chance to interview with the actual owner at Blow Tampa, which was amazing. And just so everybody knows, Blow is actually ran as independent operated salons. So they are all franchised owned, and corporate is really just there, or the HQ is really just there to really help guide our franchisees and just help them on the business end or operational end. And really everything's kind of ran and owned by individual franchisees. And I fell in love with that idea because it's pretty much like working for a small business. So I felt that I was able to get a lot of opportunity from kind of that realm, and I really did. So once I became an educator for Blow, that kind of took off for me, and it was really the experience of a lifetime. I was traveling everywhere. I was getting to meet new people. I was going to new states, and this is in both, the U.S. and Canada. So it was really, really fun as I was kind of working through that job. And they provide training for you, which is amazing too. I was a little nervous about that when, I kind of got the job. I wasn't sure what the training would look like, but they do provide it for you. So, having that job was absolutely incredible. So we're going to keep going through now the braid. I think we have kind of a good amount of hair that will kind of get us through creating the rest of that braid. And you'll see some of these hairs are kind of coming out here. We're gonna fix that with some product as we go kind of down and through the braid here. And we just wanted to add hair until we felt like it was at kind of the thickness that we wanted. So it matched kind of the top of her head. So I'm gonna take this braid down to kind of like her front kind of top back, just so we have enough hair to kind of go through and actually loop this up. So we're gonna continue on. And again, I'm going, for those of you just joined, we added a few pieces of hair, just braiding hair, nothing crazy. And this is just gonna kind of add some fullness here. So I'm gonna keep going all the way down to the length that I want it at. And if you want it tighter, you would just hold the hair a little tighter. If you want it looser, you could just hold the hair a little bit looser, meaning the braiding hair that you have. And sometimes this hair gets tangled a lot at the end, can be kind of frustrating, but just take your time with it and untangle as you're going through towards the ends. And it should be fine. So we're almost there, kind of mid-back here. So you can also take it, and what we're going to be doing is actually just kind of looping it together, kind of just like this, which is so fun, and the look that we did at New York Fashion Week. And so we can talk a little bit about New York Fashion Week and kind of how I got the opportunity to go there. And it actually is because of Blow. They actually sponsored me to go to New York Fashion Week with Unite. And it's only because of, you know, my sales and that kind of stuff. And I only share that not to kind of gloat about my experience, but I share that because, you know, working for this brand, really, if you work hard and you kind of put in the work, the sky's the limit for you, right? I know a lot of people have that stigma that, oh, going to work at a blow dry bar, it's just, you know, you're just blow drying hair. You don't really get to do, you know, anything else. And honestly, I'm here to tell you that is so false. So, you know, I got the opportunity now to go to New York Fashion Week for 3 seasons, and it's just been so incredible. I get to work under you know, I don't even know his title and he'll be so mad at me, but he's definitely the education director for Unite in globally. So he does all of the education, and he is just absolutely amazing. His name is Gary Baker, and he's, you know, just taken me under his wing, and it's been so amazing. But I do have Blow and myself, of course, to thank for that, because they've given me that opportunity. I just had 2 rubber bands snap. That's so annoying. So we'll go a little slower here and make sure some of that hair is out. So we're just taking this now, and we are rubber banding the ends here ever so slightly, just so these rubber bands don't keep breaking on me here. I'm just going to be super gentle with it. Perfect. So we've got kind of the end here, and we're just going, because this is not real hair, we're going to use a razor to kind of cut the rest of the hair off, just to give it just a little bit of a light feel here at the end. So I'm going to take some of this hair. I might kind of move this camera down just a bit so you guys can kind of see what I'm doing. I'll move it over here. Here we go. Perfect. So I'm going to take some of this razor here, and we're just going to razor this off. This is going to kind of give me less of a blunt finish, and it's going to make it a little bit easier for me to connect to the top here as we move through the style. So we're just going to razor that off, really wanting to create more of a thinner look. You could also use shears to chop this right off, but I want to make it a little easier for me to kind of blend and connect kind of at the back. So there's the hair. This is the bottom of the braid here. And now I just kind of want to go through and fix some of these little pieces that I have that are kind of disconnected. And I'm actually going to go ahead and take some of that expanded volume again, and we're going to go ahead and spray some of that into that braid. And this will just kind of calm down any of those hairs that are kind of sticking out. I'm just going to press that into the braid. You could also use a mousse, a braiding mousse works great as well with this. And then if you have any of them that are just kind of still sticking out, we can always tuck them behind the hair as well. So I'm going to take a little bobby pin and just kind of stick it behind the braid, just making sure the bobby pin does not show. So we'll take the bobby pin and we'll just pop it back here. Perfect. So now here's the fun part. So what we're going to do now is we're actually going to loop this around, and we want to make it, there we go, like a nice little loop here. And what I'm going to do with this, again, put some product on the ends of this and actually bobby pin it right behind the actual braid. So we're going to tuck this inward and we're going to bobby pin that right there, so we have this kind of cool little loop going on. So I'm going to take this hair. I'll probably put a little more product on there. You can use hairspray as well. So I added just a little more product. This is just going to give me some hold. And I'm going to use my bobby pins to go ahead and secure the hair behind here. And I want to make sure I can't see any hair sticking out or anything like that. And if you have to cut more hair off of that kind of fake hair that we have in here, you can, just to make it easier for you. But I want to show you guys kind of what I'm doing back here. I'm basically taking my bobby pins and I'm tucking them into that hair to kind of keep that hair nice and secure behind the head. And again, this may not be kind of like your everyday look, but it was just a fun look that we did at Fashion Week. And braids were so incorporated this year that I wanted to do something different and fun on the live. So I'm going to pin the other side as well. Again, just making sure my bobby pins don't come out. Now we're getting somewhere. And I want to take some of these stragglers poking out here and also bobby pin those upward. The great thing about this is we're going to add a bow. So this top part, like if you're not like super feeling it, that's totally fine. It doesn't have to always be so perfect. And that's the fun thing about Fashion Week. And the hardest thing about Fashion Week is like you're creating a lot of these looks that are supposed to not be perfect. And it's like, how do you perfect not being perfect? It can get kind of challenging. So just try not to overthink it too much when you are creating some of these looks. So now we've got this beautiful looped kind of braid up here. Perfect. And I'm going to throw a little bit of hairspray on this guy just to set it into place. Some of our hair. And now, like the photo in the description for this live, we're going to add a cute bow to it that's just going to kind of sit up here. I've got white and pink. I'm thinking I'm going to go with pink for blow because we are definitely the queens of pink, that's for sure. So we're just going to attach this to the top part of the ponytail here. And these actually have a clip in the back, but you could also use a bow that you could tie and kind of, you know, really make your own. but I decided I may not be the best at tying bows, so we're gonna use a clip bow today, but it still gives kind of that same effect. So I hope you guys can see kind of that vision coming together here. And you can cover that clip with, because this has dual kind of ribbon here, so you can cover that clip with the other part of the ribbon. And then just to finish, we will add a little bit of hairspray to the look. Add hairspray to this side, and you can kind of see the bow from the front, which like in the description photo you couldn't. I kind of like seeing the bow from the front. I think it's really cute. And we'll just want to make sure that's nice and secure. I'm gonna fix up any baby hair she may have. Just tucking away any baby hairs, any flyaways, just getting that extra touch to it. And that is that look. So you guys, this stuff is so much fun. And again, I'm here to tell you that, you know, the stigma around kind of working for a blow dry bar, you know, you can't find a career from it. It's so not true. You know, I know my broken story was all over the place, but it really is a place where you can find out what you truly are passionate about, what you really want to do. You know, if you do end up there and you like, you know, cut and color, you can still work at a full service cut and color salon while working at one of our blowout bar locations. If you find that you love session work and session styling, you can have the opportunity to go to a New York Fashion Week, you know, and work with like a Gary Baker and work with some top stylists where you can kind of really learn the ins and outs of hairstyling and kind of like the foundation of hairstyling, right? Because I think that's still so important even as we grow as artists. It's really important to kind of, you know, work with the foundation and then build from that. So I thank you guys so much for having me. I'm really, really, really happy that I got to do this and share this look with you guys. I do want to shout out Unite. Again, this look was created from a fashion show that we did together. Gary Baker was obviously the lead hairstylist. And again, they are one of our brand partners. And yeah, how I got some of the opportunities I got through Blow as well. So thank you guys so much for watching. If you have any questions, please feel free to throw them in the chat. I know, you know, we have a few more minutes here, but yeah, thank you guys so much.